Listen here real quick, today I'm comparing the new Sony WH-H910n H.ear 3 headphones to my favourites, the Sony WH1000X-M3, and I'm going to break this one down into 4 sections for you guys: design, usability, sound quality, and then at the end, awesome features. Are you ready? Let's go! Design. So when I first unboxed the new WH-H910n H.ear 3 headphones, I thought they looked smaller and they felt a bit lighter than the XM3s. However, after further inspection, I discovered the truth, which is they're in fact pretty much identical in size and in weight. Maybe the XM3s are a couple points over, but there really isn't that much in it. But anyway, let's get on to the obvious differences between the two. So the Sony WH1000X-M3s are available in 2 colors, matte black and gold tan, whereas the H.ear 3s come in 5 different colors and each one having slightly different patterns on the ear padding. So the H.ear 3s definitely win some style points here thanks to these new awesome colors. And when it comes to the finish on the 2 headphones, on the H.ear 3 it kind of has this textured matte finish, kind of like a powdered finish, whereas the 1000X-M3s have this really smooth touch and it's much more prone to fingerprints. So that's a little win there for the H.ear 3s. The way that the 2 headphones fold down are exactly the same, but here's the difference. With the XM3s you get a hard shell case, whereas with the H.ear 3s you only get this kind of flimsy netted bag with a drawstring, so that's a win for the XM3s. And here is something that I really like on the new Sony H.ear 3s, it's the provided analog cable which matches the color of the headset. That's not to say the XM3's cables don't match, it's just look at the colors. The buttons and port placements are pretty much identical on the 2 headphones, with the only difference being the location of the USB-C port. On the XM3s they're actually on the opposite side. The location of the Sony branding are also a bit different here, but both are really subtle. I do like the way they don't overstate the brand name there on the back like some headphones do. But of course, the flagship 1000X-M3s do have a little bit more bling with the rose gold accent and a bit more branding around the headband, and I'm quite a big fan of that. The outer noise cancelling mics are in the same spot on the back of the ear cups, but again you've got that gold bling there on the XM3s. But the forward and back noise cancelling mics, which are just behind the hangers, are placed slightly differently on the 2 headsets. So on the XM3s they're a bit further apart, on the H.ear 3s they're quite close together there behind the hanger. The voice call mic is also in a different location, and this is one thing people complained about on the XM3s quite a lot, and it's the voice call quality. Now on the H.ear 3 headphones the mic appears to be a bit closer to where your mouth will be when you're wearing them, and we'll test out the voice call quality a bit later in the video. The hinges and the headband with reinforced plastic is pretty much the same on both headphones, and it doesn't seem like Sony have cut back on the quality here on the H.ear 3s. So here is one big difference, and it's the drivers inside the headphones. The H.ear 3 have a 25mm driver and the XM3s have a 40mm driver. And of course, this will impact the sound quality and soundstage performance. And we'll get into that in the sound quality section of the video coming up very shortly. So although the H.ear 3 drivers are smaller, Sony have made some tweaks here to help improve the sound quality delivered by these smaller drivers. And if you look closely here at the WH1000X-M3 ear cups, there's quite a bit of soft foam padding around the driver inside. Whereas on the H.ear 3 headphones, there's just this really fine netting and the drivers will actually sit much closer to your ear. So that's definitely going to help when it comes to sound quality. And Sony say the H.ear 3 headphones can achieve the same sound pressure level as conventional 40mm drivers like we see in the XM3s, and we shall see in the sound quality section. And another really significant difference here is the size of the padding around the ear cups. On the H.ear 3 we have significantly more, which could arguably make them more comfortable for some people. And that takes me nicely on to the usability section. So the number one and most notable difference when it comes to usability is the fact that the H.ear 3s have a 35-hour battery life with ANC on. That's 5 hours more than the XM3s. So this is definitely something you want to factor in when you're making your decision about which one of these to buy. Touch controls are present on the H.ear 3s just like the XM3s, with the swipe right or left to skip forward or backtracks, a swipe up or down to change the volume, a tap to play pause, and a double tap to answer calls, and a long push will actually wake your assistant, if you configure it to do that. Alright, welcome to the mic test section of the video. One of the areas that a lot of people complained about with the XM3s was the onboard mics. How do they sound right now? Maybe there's been some software updates that have improved it. Let me play some coffee shop background noise and let's see how the noise cancelling goes when it comes to the voice call mic. So now we've got some background noise going. How well is it doing here? Let me know in the comments below. And let's see if there's been an improvement on the H.ear 3s. You ready? Let's go. All right, now here is the voice call mics on the H.ear 3s. Is there a difference? Let me know in the comments below. How much of a difference is there now between the ability to cancel background noise whilst taking voice calls? Let me know in the comments below and let's crack on with the rest of the review. So these are wireless ANC headphones and you want to know how good the noise cancelling is. Is there any difference between them? So first off, let me just say I've had the WH1000X-M3 since launch and honestly, the noise cancelling is insane. And when it comes to the difference between the new H.ear and the WH1000X-M3s, I've got to say they're almost identical. They both use Sony's class-leading QN1 chip. They have the same amount of noise cancelling mics on both headphones. And honestly, I don't think you could base a purchase decision off of the differences between the noise cancelling. It's really, really close. Both have amazing ANC if you ask me. So of course, when it comes to the app functionality, it's the same. One cool thing you can do here with the new update is customize the C button on the H.ear 3 within the app to wake Alexa, Siri, or your Google Assistant. And if you're wondering, yes, you can do this on the XM3s now as well by remapping the NC and ambient button to one of those assistants that I mentioned. And there's so many features on this app that if I started talking about them, we could be here all day. So I'm going to leave that out for now. If you guys want to see a dedicated video on that, let me know. So when it comes to comfort, you'd probably think that this would be an easy win for the H.ear 3s with the bigger amount of padding. But for me, the clamping pressure may be a little bit too strong. And that might be because they're a lot newer than my XM3s. And maybe after a bit of wearing in, they will become less strong. But if you asked me, I've got to say the XM3s feel a bit more comfortable. But I do suggest if you're looking at these two, go try them both on because it will depend on the size of your head. And that brings me on to something else, the height of the hanger itself. So one thing I noticed when wearing the H.ear 3 headphones is the hanger is much taller. And in fact, I have to wear the headphones at its smallest setting without extending the headband at all. So that might be something you want to think about if you're thinking about these headphones. And when it comes to prolonged usage, both headphones fare really, really well. Yes, your ears may warm up a bit depending on the environment you're in, but neither one considerably more so than the other. Now let's get on to the bit you've been waiting for, the sound quality section.